They've joined up.
Heroes for hire.
But the rest of them are kind of, there's...
Yeah, but in the Marvel Universe, they all knew each other. They all worked really well as a team. Well, the three, Daredevil, Cage, and Iron Fist.
For small stints.
Well, yeah, I mean...
the show's only going to be 30 minutes at a time. It won't be too long of a stint.
The villain for the Defenders?
I don't think they've said yet.
No, I don't think they have either. Are they going to continue with the Hand?
I don't know. Could be the Hand. Could be your King.
Yeah, well, who do you think? Yeah,
could be the return of Purple Man.
It could be. What would I was thinking? It's going to be a whole team against somebody, so it would have to be like Owl. Kingpin hiring a bunch of flunkies to fight him.
I bet you'll see like Kingpin.
Like Kingpin.
Multiple villains, I guess, working together.
I mean, there was a time that Kingpin ruled or controlled the Hand, so that could be a possibility.
Gave him the hand.
Just better than giving him the finger.
Yeah.
Ding ding and sing.
So
then we got.
It sounds like you have no clue, or you haven't really thought about it.
They haven't said.
I know they haven't said, but I'm just speculating on who's going to be the villain. What are they going to be fighting about?
Kingpin or the Hand?
They're going to be fighting over Shawarma. The Avengers threw the gauntlet down, said this is the best shawarma place, and Iron Fist is like, no. They're going to fight about where the best shawarma restaurant is.
I'm just interested, who's going to show up as the villain.
So that was Doctor Strange. We got Thor coming out, Guardians of the Galaxy, Brie Larson, Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on those three subjects?
They have...
I'm not real familiar with Brie Larson. The only thing I can think of that I know she was in, which is a comic book related movie, was Scott Pilgrim. I can't think of too many other things that I've watched her in, so I don't know what to think.
With the development so far of a lot of the characters that you haven't seen that they make into comic book heroes, I think she'll do well. I think it'll be a surprise.
I don't have any clue. I know they were bringing on at San Diego Comic. They were bringing on towards the end of the panel. They just brought everybody on the stage, and then he was like, "Well, if we're really going to do this right, we need to bring on the new Captain Marvel," and they brought on Brie Larson, and that's where we found out that it was Brie Larson.
I haven't really checked out a whole lot of Comic-Con videos yet. I did see that they did show, back to the Thor Ragnarok, Hulk's armor.
Okay.
And it's the Gladiator armor from the Planet Hulk
storyline.
Very cool.
And also Guardians of the Galaxy news. We know who
played by Kirk Douglas.
Well, we know who
Star-Lord's father is.
Star-Lord's father is
and he's
Ego.
a planet.
Ego, the living planet.
Ego.
Played by Kirk Douglas.
Wait, Kirk Douglas?
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas. Not Kirk Douglas. Michael Douglas.
Kirk Douglas could play him. He'd play that good raspy voice at his age.
Didn't Kirk pass away though?
No, Kirk's still alive.
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
And what am I thinking of then?
There's a lot
of Douglas.
There's a lot of people
away, I'm sure.
Jack Palance?
Yeah.
No, not Jack Palance. No.
Also, we get action superstar boxing legend Sylvester Stallone.
So let's go back to Ego though.
Ego.
You don't want to go back to Ego, the living planet?
Yes.
How does Ego, the living planet, who wasn't originally a planet, he became a planet.
He became a planet, yes, over time.
How did he father Star-Lord?
Magic.
According to what
there was something in the water.
I think he was saying something like he made some celestial or some sort of body, that comes down and they get it on and out pops Star-Lord.
Jason of Spartanax, and he died, and his mind didn't die and went into the planet. If Gunn's listening, that's what he wants to do. That's fine. I'll let you take that idea.
Everybody's probably rushing out to pick up
Hulk 132.
The first appearance of Ego.
Is Hulk?
Is it Hulk? It's not Hulk. It's got to be Thor.
Thor. So you're talking about Hulk? Yeah, Thor 132.
Is it 132? Okay.
Yes.
And run out and grab your first appearance of the living planet. I like Ego.
Ego's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And
he's
they used him recently. He showed up as they used him as the Novas back in the last Nova series, previous couple of Nova series back. Used him as the base for the Nova Corps. So
he's fought back Galactus.
He has.
It shows how powerful he is. Galactus probably saw him. He was hungry and was going to take a bite out of him.
I think that's what it was. Yes.
Well, he's fought him more than once.
Right.
And then the Wanderers. Was it the Wanderers that lived on Ego there for a while?
So.
But then they got destroyed when something happened and Ego ate them or something. I don't remember. But then the Wanderers got destroyed. So
what do you think of the new Spider-Man concept art?
They showed the concept art of the Vulture.
Who's that? Michael Keaton?
I think it's Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I think it'll be sweet. He's going from Batman to Vulture.
Well, he's Birdman.
Oh yeah, he is Birdman.
He's Birdman. So he knows how to portray a bird.
Yeah. From what I understand on this version, it's where he
sucks the life.
Leech.
Leeches.
Yeah, he leeches life from people, and the the suit regulates that or somehow. I don't. But yeah,
But he's not going to be the main villain. I think he's going to be like he's just going to kind of start off the movie.
Yeah, probably.
More likely.
Yeah, we get what Shocker, Vulture, and the Thinker or the Tinkerer.
Tinkerer, I think so. Yeah. Shocker. I've always, as a kid, I was a fan of the Shocker. So
I thought he was just an Electro wannabe.
He is a lower rate villain, but I like the Shocker.
Terry loves the Shocker.
Shocking, isn't it?
I do like Electro.
He's had the Shocker so much. He loves it.
Shocker. He does have, now, in Harry's defense, I do believe he does have the first appearance of the Shocker.
I do have the first appearance of the Shocker. Yes. Everybody should have the first appearance of the Shocker. It's got an awesome. Well, as a kid, I saw it and I was like, that's a cool suit. That's the same thing when I was much older. But when Deadpool came out, I didn't know anything about Deadpool. I was like, it's a cool suit.
Yeah,
so I picked up.
And New Mutants 98 cover was amazing.
Picked up the issue. So. I'm looking forward to the new Spider-Man movie. I really like how they.
Do you like the Spider-Man actor?
I do. I've liked all the Spider-Man actors. Even
I like Tobey better than
Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew.
I liked the chemistry between Andrew and Emma Stewart.
Yeah, that was good.
Emma Stone. Sorry, Emma Stone.
Yeah, I like Tobey.
I liked them all. Tobey gets a bad rap, I think now. I mean, when we first came out, everybody liked the Spider-Man movies. But now they like to rag on him for some reason. Were the movies perfect? No. At the time, they still didn't have. They were still advancing. I mean, they have better CGI now.
Mm-hmm. Well, really,
I enjoy the movies.
The best Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies were the first two.
Right.
3 was too much.
That's what gives it such a bad rap.
3 came out. Carnage at the very end kind of deal.
But
there's too many.
There was too. That's one of the
things.
Much going on. Too much going on, and every time you have these movies with so many characters in it, you can't go and tell all the origin stories of these characters. There have been some movies where they tell the origin, but they do it in like flashbacks real quick, and you can get away with that, but you can't spend so much time.
Supergirl, the TV show, it's like she's like, hey, yeah, I'm from Krypton, blah 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 blah. There's no hour-long flashback telling about the story because she explains it all in the opening credits.
In Spider-Man 3, they try to tell all these villains' origins, and then you don't have time for an actual story.
And that's the same thing with the second Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
3 villains in that.
Exactly.
That's why I'm kind of worried about this new Homecoming because it's 3 villains again.
Well, I think they've learned how to cast a lot of characters and build a pretty good story because they've been doing it with Avengers. I hope. So
Avengers have done well.
Avengers
but they've had spin-offs too. You had Captain America.
Avengers 2 was not my favorite, but it was still a decent movie and it had a large cast to it. So, but I still think I still think it's really hard. Right.
Overall, there's definitely some cool movies that have been made and some.
Thing about the Spider-Man and they showed in Avengers, in which they're showing it in the new comic book, which relates to that. Is he's finally using Spider-Man has always been a really smart guy, but he always ran around taking pictures to support himself.
And yet now in the new Amazing Spider-Man, I know where you're going with this, he's taking that tech that he's used as Spider-Man and putting it for we'll say real world practical
use and making some money off of it.
Which I think is
and that's that's kind of what they sort of introduced in Avengers. Mm-hmm. He was like, what's this, this web stuff, where did this come from? And he talks about he created it, They did it really fast, in
the whole
Avengers.
Scene with Tony Stark.
With Tony Stark. So that's really interesting that they're finally getting around to letting him actually make some money. I mean, he's supposed to be up. I don't know if he's up there with, like Reed Richards and Dr. Doom intelligence, but I think he's pretty up there.
He was
pretty smart.
He was just a few pegs down from Reed Richards' intelligence.
Okay.
Spider-Man, Peter Parker was, yeah.
So this will be interesting to continue to hopefully have that character in the movies as well.
We've got a lot of movies in the past that have done really well. Current movies coming up that we're giving Mike-wise.
We haven't talked about Black Panther.
Oh, Black Panther. We'll hop on Black Panther real quick. First appearance is what? Avengers 50?
No. FF52.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic Four.
If you're a big fan, you want to get FF52 and 53.
It's like the origin because it's also the
origin. Yeah, the Avengers, I think I want to say 87 was his origin. Fantastic Four, 52.
You get 53 as well.
53 is a good one to pick up.
And it's not going to
Jungle Action 5 for the first solo title because he had a 15 issue solo series by himself. Yep. Another good series for all the comic book speculators.
Also, the Christopher Priest run, the Marvel Knights.
Marvel Knights series
was really good too. Jumping real quick off of Black Panther here, mentioned about the DC animated movies a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, we talked about Killing Joke. They're also doing Justice League Dark. Dark.
Okay.
To be animated. And they're also doing, and if it's anything like the Justice League Titans that they did this time, but they are doing Teen Titans Judas Contract.
Oh, wow, very cool.
Which will be the, anybody knows the history of it.
You weren't a big fan of the last Teen Titans movie.
I was not a big fan of it because they basically did the Raven story from Teen Titans 1 through 8, I believe. It just really didn't feel like, because it was more of the modern, it was Damian as Robin instead of Grayson, and you
got annoyed, which I got annoyed with as well, with Damian.
Yes, yeah.
And not only in that one, but in
the Batman.
Batman.
Yes.
Damian is just annoying.
He is annoying.
He kind of reminds me of the previous Robin,
Jason Todd.
Mm-hmm. just a jerk.
They kind of toned that down a bit in the comics, so hopefully they'll kind of do that. Because this is a huge story for the Titans. It's the introduction of Terra, which you see at the end of Justice League versus Titans. You got that whole, hey, she's a hero, she's a Titan, and she turns traitor and was a plant by Deathstroke the whole time. So that is one of a classic Titan story that I think that should be really good.
Well, this also brings about tying it back into actual live action. They're kind of putting together the Challenge of the Super Friends.
They are on the CW Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
They are introducing the Justice Society, and they're also introducing the Legion of Doom.
And hopefully they'll have the headquarters of Legion of Doom, the Darth Vader helmet.
Oh,
that would be awesome. And
cool.
rising out of the swamp.
If they can get the license for it, hey, I'm sure Disney would be happy.
But as a kid, the Challenge of the Super Friends was a must Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
And they're introducing some new villains and new characters into the live action. Let's see, I know Obsidian is going to be introduced. Dr. Midnight, which is a Golden Age character, and who else is being introduced?
Possibly, when we talked about with Obsidian, his sister Jade could possibly be introduced. They've done Atom Smasher back in Flash.
Right. I thought there were some other villains that are going to be.
Well, villain-wise, and the Legion of Doom, we've got Damien Dark from the last season of Arrow. We've got obviously Captain Cold, Malcolm Merlin from Arrow, and the Reverse Flash from Flash.
So I watched a little bit of Legends of Tomorrow. I haven't had a chance to watch all of it. I was not. I'm not.
You won't like it because it's angsty.
Well,
you'll give it a 1, Mike. Maybe 2 Mike.
Most of the CW stuff, I don't like because it is very teen angsty. Legend of Tomorrow, I've watched a few episodes and I haven't gotten into it, but I am excited to see some of these characters. Obsidian especially, I think is a really cool character. I have enjoyed Flash for the most part. Green Arrow, I've watched off and on. I have to. Sometimes it gets really teen angsty, so I have to stop watching it every so often and then try to catch back up off and on. But we also have Ghost Driver showing up.
Ghost Rider, you mean?
Yeah. Ghost Driver.
Ghost Driver.
He's not really. Well, he can't really ride the car.
Still a rider. It's his body. The demon's taking it over, so he's not being a rider. So yeah. Showing up this season on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We have the Ghost Driver.
Also, we have Supergirl moving from CBS to the CW this season.
Speaking of with Ghost Rider. Is that going to translate into another big screen?
I don't know. Marvel does have the rights, so obviously they can do it.
The first two were amazing.
I'll give you the first one.
The first one I don't think really any of them were amazing. I did enjoy the first one, but it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was not terrible.
At the time, it was kind of neat.
Yeah, for the time when it was released, was in February.
Yeah,
a low season. It was good. Yeah, it did really well. Just lost my thought.
Yeah,
there we go. Never have a thought.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, what about Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Or I don't know about versus, but they're teaming up.
Batman Ninja Turtles.
They're doing it and animated.
But I saw that. Of course, I had to crack up and wonder why. It could, who would have thought Batman and Ninja Turtles teaming up in a comic would be successful?
But it's coming to it. Then they're bringing
they are animating it. Yeah.
Is it because of the comic? I
think so. I think with the success of the comic, I think it's gone to 3 printings of the first few issues. So I mean, it's obviously people enjoy it.
Well, we know everybody. I don't think the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles can do anything bad. It seems like,
except
not with Michelangelo.
Except Michael Bay.
Except movies. But I mean, people seem to go gaga for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It is, and I think it's more of a nostalgia thing.
Yeah,
especially with the kids our age, not kids, us guys our age, fans our age.
Yeah. Remembering the original movies.
Yeah, we remember
TV series.
Hey, we remember Vanilla Ice. Go Turtle, Go Turtle, Go Turtle,
Turtle Power.
Come on, in the second movie. You know, I mean, it was cheesy, but they were fun.
Now they're doing
Rat King.
Rat King.
And Rat King.
So
from the show, who didn't love the Rat King?
Are they doing it? I was reading something about Kevin Conroy come back and doing a new Batman animated.
I'm not sure if he is doing the voice of Batman in the Justice League cartoon or not, but he did come back to do Killing Joke.
Right. I was thinking they were going to be doing something else.
I know. I've heard of
something about that.
Because I've heard that, you know, and I've seen actually a couple screenshots of the Justice League cartoon. It looks pretty good.
Maybe that was it. Maybe he's coming back and doing Batman in that.
For animated, do you think Hamill is the only Joker that they should
offer? Hands down, Hamill will always be the only Joker. Just like Kevin Conroy will always be the only Batman.
Right.
No matter you know who.
All right. Well, we got
a lot of
movies.
A lot of news.
Movies coming up: Suicide Squad, Doctor Strange. Definitely 4 mics, 3 mics, 4 mics from us.
Yeah.
2, 1.5 for Terry, but you know. He stays in the closet most of the time.
Do you think they might do Planet Hulk as a movie?
Well, they did the animated. And I think,
they did the animated.
I think this will be the closest that we get to a Planet Hulk movie, this Thor. Also, Constantine. They've been talking about with Matt Ryan about maybe bringing him on as what they call the DC All-Star, and letting him kind of go to all the CW shows, Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, and Legends. I know they moved over the show from that NBC ran last year. They moved it over to the CW Seed, which is their online app.
Right.
And if people go and watch that to be more ratings and stuff and kind of show interest, then it'll probably happen.
There's a couple of other shows out there that I don't think we've really mentioned, probably because the one is a little hard to watch until it comes out on Blu-ray or DVD, and that's Powers movie or Powers TV show
based on the
Sony PlayStation,
based on the Icon book by
Image
book Icon book.
Icon.
Yeah, Powers by Bendis and Oeming. Yes, it was a really good series actually.
It's a great series. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They did the first season, and I thought it was pretty good.
Now, did they deal with the Retro Girl, her death? Was that what this first season was?
With her death? No.
No.
I don't remember. But no, that wasn't the central story that wasn't the central story.
Because that was the first series, the first story arc was the death of Retro Girl.
No, the first one was dealing with. It's been so long since I watched it now. The guy who was kind of their friend, teammate, who could basically eat them, you know.
Okay.
Well, he would eat them.
Eater.
Yeah, he would eat them and gain their power.
Okay.
That was the main gist of the first season.
Was it? Okay.
So I'm looking forward to seeing it. The second season has started. I'm looking forward to that. I haven't got to really watch any of Outcast yet. That's on Cinemax.
I haven't either. I've heard Cinemax or Showtime or Stars.
Cinemax.
Cinemax.
Outcast is on Cinemax.
I've heard it's really good.
I've read some of the comics, so I've enjoyed the comic. It's it's a Kirkman book.
Well, we got Preacher going right now.
We got Preacher going on. Yeah, we haven't really talked about Preacher. Have they done anything on San Diego Comic? Mentioned anything about Preacher?
I haven't seen it. I've watched the first episode.
That's all you've seen?
That's all I've seen so far.
Okay.
It's been busy. It was interesting.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. I mean, I'm kind of down with it.
The thing about the Preacher is it's a Vertigo title, and a lot of the stuff in the actual Vertigo title they're not going to be able to put on TV.
Yeah, the whole art space in the comic was a lot worse than what it looked like in the TV show.
I think that's
Star Trek
news.
Oh yeah, Star Trek.
Star Trek's out now.
Star Trek just came out. I haven't got a chance to see it. I know you.
I saw it.
Was it good?
You actually
enjoyed it.
Made us delay our podcast.
We delayed the podcast a few days because I had a standing arrangement to take my daughters to go see it. So I enjoyed it. I would say I liked the second one better, but I thought it was a really good movie.
Now the lady who plays like I said, I haven't got to see it yet. Plays the villain with the white makeup and who was she in something else? She was
I do not recall the actress's name, but I don't remember seeing her in anything else either. But she actually doesn't. She
didn't have the makeup on in the other movies.
Right. Yeah, she didn't have the makeup on in the other movies.
She's not the villain, though.
Okay, not the villain.
She's not the villain.
Spoiler.
Sorry, but I can't remember.
Well, she was on the other side at first, at least in the trailers. Like I said, I haven't got to see it.
Yeah, it's
right.
Yeah.
She was somebody else in something. I want to say comic related. Oh, you guys are not helping me out at all.
Oh, so Eric, what about you? What comics and what movies are you looking forward to?
I think the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, pretty excited. I like number 1.
Mm-hmm.
For Marvel movies, it really surprised me how well it did. But I really enjoyed it. It was a funny movie.
Yeah.
Just like Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Ant-Man, as far as character-wise, mainstay public isn't too familiar with him.
Oh, no.
But the movie was funny. It was, it wasn't too over the top. Some of the movies, the only thing I don't like is they're too over the top. I mean, it's, whatever city the superheroes are fighting in, your whole city's going down. I mean, everything's blown up.
What I liked in Batman versus Superman, the whole Doomsday fight.
Yeah, they took it outside.
On an island somewhere. Yeah.
Well, they've sort of addressed that in the comics, and they're supposedly going to address that with a spoof television show of Damage Control.
I don't
know if is that still a go?
It's in this talk still. NBC also has a show called Powerless, which has got picked up to be shown this fall, and it's they're non-powered characters. Blue Beetle, I think, or Vixen, I think, where she's magic. But anyway, I think it's funny that they're not calling Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy number 2. It's volume 2. It's like a kind of a mixtape thing, or.
Right.
So that's kind of cool.
But
Marvel's done real well, and they're characters that no one's heard of. Like you said, Guardians. I mean, really, who would have thought? Who would have ever heard of Star
Rocket
Lord
Raccoon,
or Rocket Raccoon, and
Groot,
exactly.
anything, and Groot's whole line, I am Groot.
I am Groot. Yeah.
It's funny throughout the whole movie. I mean, you really liked it. It was,
Gunn was saying in this interview that he did that, that you want me to do a movie about a talking raccoon that shoots, and he's like, yeah. And then he kind of, got to thinking, well, looking at understanding Rocket, and that he, was horribly experimented on, and kind of relate to his agony and all that, and got thinking, well, this raccoon talks and shoots guns. This could be good.
Yeah.
So
I guess that translates into bringing on Ego, the living planet.
Exactly. And then what does he do in the second movie? Hey, how can I beat a talking raccoon? Let's do a talking planet and make him a father.
Yeah.
Make him a father, right?
A little crazy, but I mean, I think it does help as far as comic book wise. People open up more to other titles to read.
Right.
I mean, since Guardians of the Galaxies came out and since Ant-Man, look how many titles they've spun off those that people have enjoyed. Some, have dropped away, but that's true of every title.
Mm-hmm.
I think more and more people are expanding out than just reading, the 1 or 2 titles. Some, they might go overboard. There's a ton of Avengers stuff. I like the Avengers, but, only so much Avengers.
But, same with the X-Men. Only so much X-Men.
Right.
But so much Wolverine, so much Deadpool. Well, maybe not Deadpool yet, but
so in wrapping up, a lot of new movies coming out. Good news, good comic movie news from San Diego. Movies you're looking forward to the most this year?
For me, Suicide and Doctor Strange.
Well, in the movies, Doctor Strange. As far as TV goes, Iron Fist. I'm really looking forward to that.
For me, it gotta be Doctor Strange and Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And Thor.
See, I'm not that into Thor.
I
didn't like Dark World.
Yeah, I did like the second Thor movie, so I'm looking forward to some more Thor.
Will that get 4 mics?
Thor 2 gets close, yeah.
Oh, we're still at 3 mics.
No, we're not 3. 3.5.
3.5.
It's almost 4. It's real close.
So to wrap up, we want to thank you for your time. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on iTunes as well. Comic Book Straight Talk is how you find us. We are a weekly podcast. If you got any questions, concerns, you can email us. collectorcon.org is the website you go to. On the top of the screen, hit blog. Under that's podcast. There's contact links there. You can listen to the podcast from the website as well. Let us know your comments or questions or things you want us to cover on the show. As always, I'm Eric, the Knucklehead Eaton. We got
Terry. I've been dubbed the French Tickler. French.
Captain Dahlia.
All right. Thank you again very much.